Hello my fellow waggers and welcome back to another video. I've spent some time making this video on dungeon skips. It might be a little bit longer than my typical video, but I hope you enjoy it. I left timestamps in the description to help you skip around and look for something in specific. Once again, I hope you enjoy. To start things off, Shattered Throne. Shattered Throne has two skips. First skip will make it so you immediately pull to Ogre Boss after the completion of the first encounter. The second skip will take you from Ogre to Boss, skipping most of the transversal area. The first skip is primarily done on a Hunter for speed. You start at the beginning right in front of the first symbol. Make your way under the map following the clip and avoid death barriers. Once down, you will want to die after hitting the load without touching the floor. This can be done by either falling off the map or hitting the wall with momentum, then using Mountaintop. Once there, continue as normal up until right before the first boss. You do not have to replicate the video. You want to wait for first encounter to finish before entering to pull your team from first to second. The second skip is done on a Warlock with Heat Rises. This will skip a majority of the jumping section and make getting from Ogre to Boss 10 times easier. So you begin by using the elevator normally. Once closer to the top, make sure to eat your grenade and activate your jump. About halfway up the wall, shoot a Mountaintop. This will give you more momentum, allowing you to reach the thrall area. Once at the area, follow the route shown in the video to get to the boss. At the boss, shoot one of the 3 knights to start the encounter and tell your teammates to die. Their ghosts will be in the boss arena, so all you have to do is res them. That's it. The next dungeon up is Pit of Heresy. Pit has 3 skips. The first skip takes you from first encounter to Ogre encounter after the first encounter is successfully completed. The second skip takes you to Totem directly after you finish first encounter skipping the Ogres. The final skip will make it so you don't have to do the dropping bit to get to Wizards. The third skip is not necessary, but I will be discussing it anyways. The first skip is primarily done on either a Warlock or a Hunter. You start at flag and skate down to the symbol that has a curved line on top, straight line in the middle, and curved line on the bottom. There is a hole that leads to the outside of the map on its side. Following the route shown in the video, you should find yourself back in the map past the door at the end of the first encounter. Continue normally until you get to the pit load. Once there, wait for your team to finish the first encounter and then white pull. The second skip follows the same route as the first, but instead of dying at the pit load, you will continue on. A ledge can be found to the right of the drop to the ogre encounter. The ledge leads to a hole in the map, and this can be seen in the clip. This hole is smaller, so you have to slide then sword swing if on a hunter. If you're on a warlock, you want to slide, Icarus dash, sword swing. This should push you out of the map. Once out, you will want to drop down and skate to where the knights spawn in the totem encounter. After you've made it, wait for the encounter to finish and the new objective on the top right of your screen to pop up before white pulling the rest of the team to the totem encounter. The final skip is done on a warlock. This skip is not necessary, but it will make it so you don't have to do the falling section to get to the wizard's encounter. Following the video, you want to skate from the little green orb shown in the clip. Do not jump. You are hoping to bounce straight into the hole, but if you are unable to, that is okay. Prophecy is the third dungeon up. Prophecy has two main skips. Since one of the skips requires Spire attack, I will not be showing it in this video. However, since the first skip is easier than the rest, I will also teach you how to perma the flag. This means you won't have to wipe and can immediately start the encounter. Skip is done by using heat rises and going up the tube at the start of the dungeon. I used mountaintop, but it is not necessary to do this. You can hug the left side of the tube and float to the top. For the perma, start the encounter, then go to the circle to place the rally. Once you have spawned in, place the flag and it should be perma'd. It might take some practice to get this perfect. The fourth dungeon up is Goa, or Grasp of Avarice. Goa has two major skips, but one of them requires Spire attack, so I will not be discussing it in this video. The skip requires you to hit 3 checkpoints. It will allow you to skip the transversal area before the first boss. You start at the beginning where you spawn in, head to the right and jump out the map as shown in the clip. Continue to follow the clip until you reach the first checkpoint. Wait until the other members finish depositing the engrams and have hit the Skywatch load. Once they have hit the Skywatch load, this should cause you to enter a respawn restricted zone. Follow the clip and hit the second and third checkpoint. Once at the third checkpoint, white pull your teammates to the first boss. Duality is the 5th dungeon on the list. It has one major skip and will allow you to skip the transversal area between first boss and second encounter. There is 2 variants of the skip and I will be showing them both. The first variant of the skip is used if your 2 other teammates can one-phase the boss by themselves. You want to jump above the bell right before you shoot it. Once you have done this, you should be outside the map. Following the video, continue until you are above the second encounter. Wait until first encounter is done to jump up and hit the checkpoint in the tube. You want to die and wipe just before joining allies hits 0. The second variant is used after boss. You want to continue as normally until you find the hole in the map shown in the video. You will want to jump out and follow the path shown. Same as the other variant, you want to hit the checkpoint in the tube and then wipe before joining allies. Dungeon number 6 is Spire of the Watcher. Spire has 2 skips, but due to the difficulty, I'll only be showing one. There's 2 variants of the first skip, but I will be showing the easier of the 2 because the other variant requires you to blink past a death barrier. The same strategy is used for the second skip, so that is why I won't be showing it. The skip is done on a hunter. You will want to begin by making your way to the rock shown in the clip. You then skate from the rock to the cliff across the chasm. Once you have landed on the cliff, sword swing to prevent being pushed back. Continue to follow the route until you are above the facility. Skate once again to the open area shown in the video to hit the load zone. Now just continue on until you are right before first encounter. Wait until your team is done with entrance before white pulling. Ghost of the Deep is the second to last dungeon on the list. It has 2 skips. You will still have to do the underwater mechanics, but it makes it faster for the rest of your team. The first skip takes 2 people. The first person would DSM. To perform a DSM, die as you spawn, and let your team cover your res with stasis crystals. The other way this can be done is instead of dying, jump and place stasis crystals where you spawn. Once the spawn area is covered, die without touching the ground. This should spawn you past first encounter. The skip has 2 parts. In the first part, I will show off the DSM and first checkpoint where player 2 will have to wait. Then I will show the second checkpoint where player 1, the DSM person, would have to wait at. The person who DSM wants to sit at the second checkpoint and wait for player 2 to leave and rejoin. Player 2 should leave and rejoin after the third symbol is done and should wait at the checkpoint shown in the first clip for the encounter to finish. The second skip is easy. Jump up right above where the rally is. There is a hole that leads outside the map. Following the route I take, get back into the map while hitting load. Wait there for your team to hit the checkpoint by transversing normally. Enemies should spawn. Once the enemies spawn, make your way to boss and white pull once you hit it. The last dungeon is Warlords Ruin. Warlords has 2 skips. Both skips are DSMs similar to Ghost. The background footage shows how to get to first encounter fast and easily, so I will show it in its entirety. First skip is an easy DSM. All you need to do is go to the box that is shown in the clip and die in the corner. Have a teammate stand on top of your ghost and res you. Once you res, make your way back to the checkpoint and then white pull your team to boss. The final skip is another DSM. Hit the load and die without touching the ground. Once dead, have someone stand on your res. Then have someone else shoot crystals and block your spawn. Once covered, the person standing on your res should revive you. You should spawn at boss. Once there, white pull the rest of your team,